All right.
It's good music too.
You like it?
Oh yeah.
We're here, hanging in the hideout. Your host, Hollywood, with my man, Sherpa. Squeezable cheeks and a mean bite. He takes on the biggest and never loses. Sherpa, how are you doing today?
Living the dream. Living the dream. So happy to be here.
I know some of these facts we've already covered. But
Like I always say, it'll buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to start that.
Yeah,
There we go.
something's going to work one of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
times. Anyway, so Saturday, it's windy. You're here.
It's very windy.
We're just visiting.
Did you go outside today and look at your car and just look at all the dust on it?
Yeah, I think that's like, I don't want to say soot, but
It's
the smoke that came through yesterday.
Oh yes.
I think it's like a residual out of that because it was so bad when I got home. It was like fog.
It looks like So I don't know if you know. I lived in West Texas for a little bit. I went to college out there. Long story. I was a horrible student. I like to tell everybody, I was enrolled in college. I think I went to one class and that was it. But
Hey, you went to college.
Yeah, exactly. One semester, man. That's all it takes, right?
That's all it takes. Yeah.
College educated.
Yeah.
But it looks like the dust that was ended up all over my truck when I was living out there.
Yeah.
Got a little tongue tied there for a second.
Well, that wind, we had a dust storm from there.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
what, week and a half ago?
Blowing out of the west, yeah.
Yeah. And then the smoke, that was Amarillo, was on fire.
Oh,
or near Amarillo.
Is that okay? That makes sense.
They were having so much smoke there that people were crashing into each other because they couldn't see through it.
A trooper got in I saw on Instagram earlier this morning. A trooper got in a wreck yesterday, working a rollover.
Man, it was bad. Like there was photos of just 18-wheelers all creamed into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that smoke, you can't see past like the first little bit.
Yeah,
it's pretty smoky.
Smoky.
You watch Friday? You ever seen Friday?
Uh-uh.
Okay, we'll cover that in a little bit.
The absolute disappointed look on your face.
That
is
was
priceless.
because that's a classic. Like I thought everybody, although my kids, when I watched it with them, they loved it. It's definitely.
I've seen like little clips from it.
Like when he got knocked out, everybody.
Yeah. Cat Williams.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Chris. That's Chris Turner.
Is that? What am I thinking of? Cat Williams getting knocked out when he's in the bathroom.
Oh. I don't know what movie you watch.
It's Cat Williams, so you never really know.
Yeah. That's true.
He goes down. Pimp down.
Yeah. I've heard, I know what you're talking about.
Is that not Friday?
No, it's not Friday.
Oh.
That's Friday's got Ice Cube, or not Ice Cube. Who's the other Ice? Ice Cube?
Ice-T.
Ice-T? No, it's Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Because Ice-T's the actor on that other show.
Yeah.
Little douchebag. But anyways, some of the things that I know about you that you like is like DWIs, traffic, and shooting guns. And
Absolutely.
We were just, when I realized we didn't hit record the first time.
We're recording now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just make sure.
And the wire was over the light. I was like, oh God, not again. You were talking about how much you shoot in a month, roughly. You were
like I said, I haven't done it. I haven't really, I try to buy 1,000 rounds a month. Does it always work? No.
1,000 a month?
Yeah, I don't shoot that much, but I try to stockpile because I'll get in a lull where I won't buy anything for several months. Like I don't think I bought ammo since last November. So it ranges. If I'm buying ammo consistently, maybe 600-700 rounds a month. But if I'm not, then back that down, maybe 200-300 rounds a month.
Dang.
So
that's still. I wish I could.
So I built a range at my house.
Really?
Yeah. So I've got our range that I can use, like if it's really really muddy.
Yeah.
Because I've just dirt ground there, but and also the berms aren't as high as they should be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should see mine back here. Like, make sure you're close when you're sighting in type stuff. But
so I can get out to what is it? I can get right at 100 at the one that's like right behind my house, and then I've got another small berm that is it's dirt piled up from when we dug a stock tank, and I can get right at about 400 yards.
So what? I think you showed me a picture of it. And I vaguely remember you talking about this months and months ago, but I can't remember if you did or not now.
It's not built up like a professional range. I
Yeah.
mean, it's horrible.
Mine's spare dirt off our dam from the pond.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all mine.
Stacked
It's
up.
a lot of mine came from digging a stock tank.
Yeah.
And it's not massive, but
Hey,
it works.
If it stops the rounds.
I'm not shooting 338 Lapua through it, but
Yeah.
5.56 or 9mm, absolutely,
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, I was having a shoot fest back there. I throw a couple cans out and see how much I can keep it moving.
Mhm.
So it'd flip up, and then you hit it just right, and it flies way up. You got to wait for it to come down.
My favorite thing to shoot is bowling pins.
Oh yeah.
So you build like a little A-frame, or like spare pipe or whatever, or if you have pipe, just pipe, oil field pipe laying around like we do because we bought way too much whenever we were building the pipe fence. And you tie a string to it, you hang it up there because there's a little hole in the bottom that you can run a string through, and you shoot them, and they don't disintegrate like you think they would.
No,
they sit there and they just swing.
One of our firearms trainings, we shot at bowling pins a while back. I don't remember how long ago.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, they don't tear up.
Yeah, the first one's easy, and then after that, it's like, ooh,
yeah, this
is getting a little hard. I don't like this.
The bowling pins.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, anyway, we start out every little wonderful show with the spin of the wheel.
Okay.
This happy little wheel here says hideout on it, #hideout. And whenever you spin it, I'll open up the envelope and kind of chip away at some of the ice of this interview / meeting.
Okay. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. That was a horrible spin.
It's all right. It moved. I. Now,
see what the question of the day is.
Well, there's 3 questions.
Oh, 3 questions.
Look at that. They got my cute little logo on it now.
Oh, it's adorable.
If the chief... Oh, this one has 4, so bonus.
Uh-oh.
If the chief told you to replace police sirens with a different sound effect, what would be your choosing?
Have you ever seen Despicable Me?
Yes.
I think it's like the second one, I think it is. And it's a little minion dude. They're going to put out a fire, and they're out there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do.
They would never... some don't take us seriously already, but they would never take us seriously for coming down the road sounding like that.
No, not a chance. But it would be funny.
But it would be kind of cool to watch, like, a suspect freak out because they heard that noise.
I would love to see that one in court. Is what I'm like. I would love to see we're going to start the video when the officer initiated his lights and sirens.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's just...
Beep, beep.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole jury's over there just trying not to laugh.
This one's kind of a brain teaser. If a vampire bites a zombie, does a zombie become a vampire, or does the vampire become a zombie?
Well, so zombies are dead, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't come back to life. And vampires are immortal, right?
Yeah. But aren't zombies as well?
No. They're dead. They're dead people. They decay.
Okay.
Like, eventually they turn into...
I thought they ate
Remember my first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually it would turn into that.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Sherpa, get back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't know, but the vampire is like, he cures himself of all.
Right. So, I mean, he's truly immortal. The zombie is, I mean, they're dead. They just be a bite mark.
Yeah. I don't know
what would happen.
I don't either. I'll have to figure that out one day. If you had to replace all your favorite furniture with inflatable versions, what would be the biggest problem in your daily life?
All my furniture. The couch.
The couch?
Yeah.
Why would that be a problem?
Because I like to put my feet up. I try to stay decently active, but
they got inflatables couches.
Do they really?
Yeah. They have like whole living room sets.
It's no good.
It's no good. Too
no
much.
Good. Yeah.
No, I would be more worried about popping it.
Yeah.
We have cats. It would be half a day.
Yeah, oh yeah. Definitely. So we have one cat, and I swear on everything, it was a dog in a previous life.
Yeah.
But still got the little sharp claws that tears up everything.
Yeah. I can see it being like kind of scared of it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
So it's funny. We actually call
jump
the cat.
Up there and...
So the cat has a name. The cat's name is Sage. It's my mom's doing. Beside the point. I don't think I've ever called it Sage outside of telling you what his name is. It's always been Casa de Gato.
Casa
House
de Gato.
cat. Yeah, house cat.
That little dog.
For the
out
record,
there?
I do not speak any Spanish.
So the big dog, the white one,
Mhm.
that's Pablo Chacon. And
Yo soy Pablo Chacon.
yeah. And then we got the little one, and we were like, what are we gonna name it? And I was like, Cocaina. So it's
Shouldn't Brad Gerlinger.
yeah. Well, it's a girl, so
Oh,
Cocaina.
it's 2025.
I can't remember what the
What
hell.
else? Whatever do you mean?
I know, right? If you had to be trapped in a video game for a week, which one would be your choosing?
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, dang. That's a dangerous one. Although, man, how much fun.
Exactly. No consequences.
It's funny. I was training 2 days ago now, and we had individual with firearms walking through these neighborhoods, sneaking, hiding behind cars,
I was there.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I
Oh, I'm
remember
sorry. I don't ever know who I'm working with.
Yeah. You work that fun shift.
Yeah. We get in the area, and I said, it's been about 15 minutes. I said, you ever play Grand Theft Auto? It's like, I can't remember his answer. But I was like, well, it's just like that. The cops come, they look, and then it dies down, and we go back about our business, and you get away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because we scanned the area, we jacked up some innocent people, and now it was time to move on.
Let's go ahead and reference what do you mean by jacked up
Yeah,
people.
Startled
We
them.
contacted.
We startled them by
Yes.
the aggression of our contact because someone had a gun.
Yes.
We just didn't know who. It was.
It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
This job is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
see why we die early.
Oh,
Usually.
absolutely.
The up and downs. Although I've hit a kind of a spot where it's like a constant, you know?
You don't get
Like
that adrenaline dump?
No, I don't. I get weird moments. Like the other day we started cranking up Snoop Dogg and acting like, with the windows down and rolling by people and pulling over just anything that moved. But it was just like we were trying to be aggressive in a different way.
Yeah.
Having fun doing it.
You got to have fun doing it.
You do.
Absolutely. Say anybody that doesn't have fun in this job has just leave. Go home.
Yeah. Yeah. Just get your paycheck from the government.
Hey, that government check's nice, man.
Not the local government. Not the local. The federal. God. Words are so hard today.
It happens.
Yeah. So, I'm aware that you came from a law enforcement family. Is it different living with like a law enforcement family?
I'm not gonna say
Since being an officer, or is it like?
So I grew up in my dad's agency, right? All those guys I grew up with, and so I always got the kind of the unfiltered version of law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And it was obviously, when I was younger, it was obviously very much so tame, And then as I got older and as it became more obvious that, hey, this is what he's going to do, it slowly became, it was like a curtain opening up. And I'm not going to say it prepared me for the job because I was woefully unprepared when I started.
Yeah.
I was not expecting the real world to work like that, which sounds horrible as far as law enforcement goes. It's different as in the fact of, like, whenever I see something crazy at work, I can call my dad, call my uncle, call my cousin, call my brother now. He's a fireman. He's a
Yeah. God, why'd you even bring him up?
traitor.
It's disgusting.
I can call them and I can tell them all about it. And they're just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then, none of those weird looks like I get from my mom or something like that.
Yeah.
Or any of my friends. If I tell them like a funny story that happened at work, I find it funny, but they're like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've noticed as well. I went from workers' comp adjuster to police officer. Quite the culture shock.
Oh yeah.
And when I got myself in, I was like, that's what I thought. Like, what did I get myself into? And then I started having that twisted humor that just has grown over the years.
Yeah. So my humor's always been a little twisted just because I grew up in it. Right.
Right.
And when I got to the jail, it became a little bit more. And then I say it got to the jail. I worked in a jail. I did not go to jail.
Yeah. For the record.
Yeah. For the record.
Just in case you do a background on me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once I got to like actually on the streets, it was over. Stuff that most people would be like, "Ooh, that's not very funny. That's depressing." It's like, no, that shit was hilarious.
That dude just got his arm straight up whacked off, and they're like, "God, it's horrible." Oh yeah, it is. It is. But yeah.
So yeah, I remember I was telling a friend of mine about a certain fatality accident that I worked on our interstate, and
The semi?
I think no,
Oh.
no,
Okay, go ahead.
not that one.
Sorry.
That's a story for later though. But and this is the one where wrong way driver,
Oh, okay.
and but that's about as specific as I'm going to get with that. And I didn't realize I did it, but it got pointed out to me later when a certain supervisor was reviewing video. Apparently, I said something along the lines of, "That fire sure does feel nice," and I didn't even think about it at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oof. And it also got pointed out that I said something about someone being crispy, which I was describing it to another officer who didn't see what I saw.
Yeah.
And so, as messed up as that sounds, like gallows humor.
Yeah.
You know, we all got to cope somehow, right?
Yeah. And that's Jones and I talked about that. Oh, dang. I mean, Mr. Clean and I talked about that. Sorry about that. Exposed him. Is when people see officers on scene laughing and whatnot, it's not laughing at the situation. It's kind of
the situation itself is not funny.
No.
Like, you know, it's always horrible when someone passes away, or I'm not even gonna say passes away, when someone is killed.
Yeah.
So it's a big, like, stickler with me. Like, people like to say, oh, especially doing on notifications, and it's like, oh, your loved one passed away. Whenever, no, be direct.
Yeah.
Your loved one is dead. And it's horrible to say out loud, but it's like, no, you got to be direct. And I had a friend when I was in middle school who got killed due to a intoxication arising thing. Long story. We won't get all off into that.
Yeah.
This is why I like DWIs, because I have a personal connection to it.
Oh, that's good.
But the whole thing is, oh, he passed away. It's like, no, he was fucking killed. Like,
yeah.
Let's get that out there, pretty out there. But I don't know where I was going.
Yeah.
No, they see us laughing. Yeah, they see us laughing about stuff like that. And it's not funny. It's just you have to laugh at it. You know, otherwise you blow up.
Do you find yourself? How long have you been doing this now?
So, been just over a year.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you already started the desensitizing to
absolutely
personal, like yesterday we're working a guy, I mean, he's dead at the door now. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but a wife just got back to the doctor with him and finds him not breathing in the couch like minutes later. He's in the back of the box, getting worked on with that awesome CPR machine.
Oh, that Lucas machine is awesome.
Yeah. And then
so I've got
it's going, and they keep stopping to check, see if they even have the air pipe, tube in the right area, because his stomach keeps inflating, which is probably a sign. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a bigger dude, so it might have been pushed. I don't know. But anyway, they're, no tone, no heartbeat. He's dead. And we go up and check, make sure there's no foul play, and it's like, he's like, she's ready to go to the hospital, make sure her husband recovers, and I'm like, you might want to make other plans.
Yeah, he's not coming back from that, sweetheart.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I don't know if he died or not, but they took him to the hospital.
Sometimes I think, and I guess I could ask my brother this, because he works on a box now, or kind of right now he is, because he's in paramedic school. But like, I wonder if they just transport sometimes just to make the family feel better.
I think so, because otherwise they would have to offload them back into the house, and then we work our death scene.
Yeah,
which
would be kind of rough.
Yeah. How was he?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you might as well just take him and pronounce him at the hospital.
It'll be okay, I promise.
Yeah.
Say it. That's an attended death. It'll be fine.
Yeah. But I'm glad they drove off. There's one less DOA.
Yeah, a little less paperwork.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've also noticed. I count my incidents by paperwork.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll go to something, and when I first got cut loose out of FTO, I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, gung ho, let's go do it. Now I roll up to something like, shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of paperwork.
And now I'm all for taking DWIs. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't dodge them, but the damn paperwork with them for what they are. Good God.
My problem with it is it's only a B misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not super
and it's
high.
fought to the end.
Oh, absolutely. Which, oh well.
It's just
Yeah.
to prove a B.
Yeah, it's kind of it's expensive. You know, I forget what the average cost of a DWI is, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
But it's so I've had that conversation a lot with guys. It's like, oh, it's just so much paperwork. It's really not. It's 4 extra forms.
Yeah. It's I guess the technicality of it all. That you have to make sure you do it correctly and all that stuff. Or
it's like I've gotten to the point. I just build packets.
Yeah.
So it's all in order of how it needs to go. So the statutory warning, the notice of suspension, the peace officer sworn report, and then other stuff for blood draws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just go through it, and it's real simple.
Do you even ask for breath, or you go straight blood?
It depends. If I'm 100% that it is alcohol, I ask for breath because it's simple, it's easy.
Yeah.
I you know, there I can
get the results.
Yeah, I can get the results right there. I can know if it's going to be enhanced or not based off their BAC. But if I have any inclination that
blood alcohol concentration. I was telling them what BAC was.
Yeah,
sometimes we use acronyms and whatnots.
Yeah. Sorry if I use any vernacular y'all don't understand. We'll figure it out, I promise.
Yeah. Look it up. Google it. I'm just joking.
So if I think there's any kind of narcotics impairment or anything like that, then I'll go blood.
And what I've noticed is, you drink alcohol until you get drunk or whatever, but there's a lot of mixing these days. Like,
oh yes,
they'll have 1 or 2 beers, literally. But what about
they mix it with marijuana
or the Ambien?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So what made you choose our city and not like with your dad or anything?
So I decided against working with my dad because of the specific county that his agency is in. It's, and I'm not going to get political, but it's a very liberal county.
Yeah.
The district attorney there loves to prosecute cops for doing their job, and it sounds horrible to say out loud, but like a lot of it's like bullshit prosecution.
Yeah.
It's like why are you trying to get this guy? So moved out. Also, I live out here to an extent in the area, and so it's it's closer to home.
Convenient.
It's very convenient, and also we live in a pretty decent sized city. So I knew I wasn't going to go work for some 3,000 population town or 300 population town. Just that would be so boring.
It would be. Oh, the cows are out.
Yeah. Say I was not built.
It's like the excitement of the night.
Yeah, I was not built to work for a sheriff's office.
Yeah.
No shade on sheriff's office. They do great work, but sad. This is not me. I'd say I've wanted to be a city cop my entire life.
Yeah. So there is something that I want to know, and you don't have to write yourself out. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Do you have the cheat codes on how to get around the city? I've noticed that you leave one section of the city and end up on the other, like in light speed. How do you do that? Just good at navigating?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a lot of little cut throughs. You know a lot of them, I'm sure, or all of them. You've been in this area long enough.
Yeah.
Say it's really easy to go from the far east side to the far west side pretty quickly.
Yeah. Almost like you're teleporting.
Yeah. You hit some roads. I mean, they're rough. I mean, you can see me, and if it's on recording, like you can see me getting thrown around in my car and everything like that. Yeah. Or you can hear me hitting the speed bumps or potholes.
Yeah, the potholes.
Yeah, but there's no red
nature made speed bumps.
There's no weather. Sorry, I was gonna say something else, but anyway, there's no traffic control. There's hardly any traffic on this road, so. I mean, you can drive straight. You don't have to stop for anything like that. I avoid our main thoroughfares. I avoid.
Yeah, I'll be on them for just traffic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I go off on those back roads because, as I explained to everybody, I've tried to train. It's like that's where the bad guys are. They know we're on the main thoroughfare.
Say the only time I spend not a lot of time, but the time I spend on the main thoroughfares, I'm looking for like I said, just traffic stops, or I'm looking for DWIs.
Yes, they come right down the middle
Exactly.
of it.
You know, all of our bars, all of our facilities that serve alcohol are all on that major thoroughfare right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you know what part I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you know, it's I'm not gonna say I'm sitting there just waiting for them, but I'm watching cars go by and like, okay, I'm seeing this right now. Let me go get behind this car. Let me see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, people make their own decisions. So
and we keep it active. That's good. Makes it fun for me.
Absolutely.
I can't stand sitting around. Just like when I was upstairs, just sitting there day after day. And now I'm back out where I'm walking around and running, looking for people. That's exciting to me.
It's where the fun's at.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look at it, we're hunting.
Yeah.
And that's the way I've always been told to look at it. My center.
No, you're good.
Okay. I've always been looked at it as hunting, you know, which whatever, but whatever connotations people are gonna make of that, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's addicting.
It is.
Like, especially once you get like a really good stop and you find something really cool. You know, you find some legit dope and not, you know, a joint.
Marijuana. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
the most marijuana I've ever found, and yes, it was a whisper stop, was 50 pounds. And pulling 50 pounds of marijuana out of a car, that
would be cool. That would be awesome.
But I mean, do I guess people get it by the amount they're going to smoke right then now? Because they have, the most I've seen is like maybe an ounce.
So
where's the big old fat sacks?
Me and another officer, he made the stop and he just called for backup unit. And I was close, so I went over there. We pulled a gallon Ziploc bag out of a dude's center console, and that was really cool.
Oh, that's
just because, you know.
Yeah,
it's like he know what he's doing. You know, that's not personal use.
Back in the day, before I went upstairs, people would carry that much around normally.
Really?
Yeah. And there was a guy from Taco Bell, I can't remember his name, but he went on breaks. I saw the car up there, and he was coming back, and I pulled him over on Stonewall. And
are we allowed to reference certain streets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's got a black coat on, and I guess he thought he concealed it, and it was sticking out of the pocket, like half the gallon bag full of weed, like you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm up there doing my greeting and all, and my introduction. And I'm like, you gonna give me that marijuana now? Or he looks over like I shouldn't have been able to see it. And he sees how much it's sticking out. He goes, ah. Well, he had a coat hanger door, so he couldn't get out.
Oh.
So I just pinned his head up against the thing, the headrest.
Sorry, it's time to wake up.
And then I grabbed it. You having issues all of a sudden?
That's what.
But I grab it, to get him out. I'd pull him through the window because he can't open his door. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That is.
But that used to be regular. He was on his lunch break. They took their paychecks, the whole employees' paychecks, to go buy that weed. Oops.
Oh no.
Yeah. Guys, I got a story for you.
Yeah. So, damn, what was I about to say? I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. What was FTO like for you?
It wasn't difficult, which, I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Most of my FTO was kind of like, okay, cool. You know, I'm learning the technical side of how to do things.
Yeah.
The paperwork. I'm not gonna say I ever had an issue with doing the job.
Yeah.
It was all the aftermath of it. You know, the proper paperwork, or what to do after you find something. I mean,
I got this.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah. I found the stolen U-Haul. What can I do now?
Yeah.
And, where to go from there and how to continue on and actually make it worth something. Finding a stolen car is great.
Yeah.
Or finding your dope is great. But it's how to make it more. And it, I think that gets lost.
What do you mean make it more?
Whenever we found that stolen U-Haul, how to make it to where, okay, now you have actual suspects.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know on the street who stole that car.
Are you talking about the one with the shoe prints in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
say I would have never known to look for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now I think I found 2 or 3 stolen cars since then, and now every time I'm looking for the small little minute details, just to see.
Yeah.
Or even on just regular calls, like we had a call a couple nights ago about some guy trying to get into a window at one of our apartment complex, and not a so great area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, there's fresh shoe prints here. Well, another officer stopped a guy just up the road, and you could tell it's like that shoe print matches the fresh print that we saw on the ground right there. This is the guy that did it.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't have an offense. We didn't arrest him, so we just sent him on his way and was like, "Hey, I think it's time to go home for the night." And I think he got the message, but
maybe. Who knows?
Well, it was anyway.
Yeah. So, speaking of that U-Haul and all, that was funny that who was it? Suarez that just walked up and go like, "Oh, those are some Nike.
Yeah.
Just name the Nike shoe by the tread."
Yeah,
and then they're on the front porch of that house. So she's like,
yeah,
suspect.
Yeah,
but it was funny how he just blurted that out from a. Now so, I would get like Van soles are very
very distinctive,
and Converse stuff like that. I can get those, but
yeah. But FTO. So my first 3 phases, breeze. Nothing to it. When I got to 4th phase with a particular FTO, and I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. He was here, then he left, and he came back.
Oh yeah.
Him. I was so stressed out the entire time.
Yeah.
He made life so stressful.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. And
because we operate under stress like 90% of the time.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And that was I probably learned the most out of that phase.
Yeah.
And it was a month, and I think I only had him for like 10 days out of that 14-day phase.
Mm-hmm.
And oh gosh, the amount that I learned that I still implement today. Yeah. I've refined it a little bit more now, but
yeah, some of the old school guys, we have a lot of information, but the way of teaching it to younger that I've noticed younger guys, it's just not the same. Like it doesn't stick, like because I don't know if y'all are used to learning a different way. Some of it sticks, but just what I'm seeing now. It's like, you make a correction and it's like, I just corrected that. Like,
I think it's just FTO as a whole. I've noticed in a lot of places, it's gotten so much softer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
You get these old school guys that are used to teaching this way. But the last phases before that, they're like,
yeah.
Sweet summer child. It's, I can't say that I went through the old times. I can't say that because I didn't. But
no, trust me, you didn't.
Yeah, no.
It was.
I know. I didn't
think that 4th phase was tough. Straight.
Yeah, I could imagine being like.
We didn't eat if we didn't arrest somebody. We didn't. You were going to be active.
Yeah.
And you every day you'd walk in thinking you were going to get fired. Like, this is my last day.
Yeah.
There was no friendly talk. There was no nothing. It was strictly. I remember one particular to this day, like we're talking 21 years ago, roughly. And he sat down. I came from kind of a softer FTO to him. And we're driving down the road. And I said, so you got wife, kids? He looks straight at me and says, what does that have anything to do with police work? And that was it. And I just immediately this is not going to be fun.
This is going to be a rough couple weeks.
Yeah. But it got through it. All good.
So I think that at the end there, I think you have guys that, that don't need to be police work end up making it through because it's kinder, gentler world that we live in.
Yes. And that's a lot of it. A lot of it is like they take down the strictness, the fierceness. Let's just play it. Let's play it safe.
It's the way I look at it. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say we're in a hiring crisis. I mean, law enforcement as a whole is. But,
yeah.
I mean, not so much our area. But I mean, it's a legit job. I mean,
oh yeah, it's like
the people. Yeah, the people we contact aren't our friends.
No,
they might act like they are, but they're really not. They're always looking for a way to either get away or get away by hurting us.
Yeah,
I mean that's.
So, I play mind games more today than I did before. Before you could tell what I was thinking and what I was doing. where I was going. Now it's like I put this nice coat of happiness underneath what's really processing, and that it gets me more success on the road, on the streets and all. And unfortunately, gets me a little disrespect with officers because they like, oh, you're just a dumbass. I'm like, no, it's just a phase. I'm putting that on. When I say,
oh, it's like,
what do you mean by that? And it's an obvious answer. I'm obviously joking, but yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's a great tool.
It is.
I use it on DWIs a lot. You know, people use common terms. Like, oh, I've had a couple of shots. Well, I mean, what are you calling a shot? What's a shot?
Yeah.
And of course, everybody knows a little shot glass full of liquor. I mean, whatever.
I don't know. I watched a YouTube commercial earlier where this lady's making like spiked lemonade, and she goes, it calls for 2 shots, and she has this cup, like a measuring full cup, and she just fills it up and goes. It's like, I don't think that's 2 shots, but
yeah, but also it adds to it. It's like, okay, they know. Okay, now I know what they know they're saying, right? Like, is 2 shots for me is, 2 sips of liquor, and I'm toasted because I don't drink. But 2 shots for this guy might be, oh yeah, I had 2 shots, but then I chased those 2 shots with 16 beers.
Yeah,
it's like,
and
you don't know. You don't know unless you play a little dumb.
2 or 3. It's always 2 or 3.
Oh, every time. I've only had one person admit to having more than 2 beers.
Yeah,
and that dude knew. That dude knew what was happening.
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm leaving with you here in a few minutes."
Ignore that.
Okay.
I looked at you and hit the wrong button. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll just call this like Sherpa's beginning into manhood.
He's making a joke because I'm a child.
Child man. A man child. Stay tuned. Be sure to comment. Sherpa would love to answer your questions that I can ask him third party.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, what's your digits? Hit those buttons. You know the ones. See you in a minute.